how do you analyze the Indian education system?
So the Indian education system is very, very complex. I mean, there's a huge diversity of things which comprise the education system. I mean, right from preschools to K-12 schools to higher education, formal sector, non-formal sector, the private sector, the government sector, profit making, non-profit making. So the way to understand and describe the education sector is you can divide in any chunks in any manner into any small pieces as you want, and each one has its own challenges and its own strengths and its own weak shortcomings. So I think a very, very broad question, but something that anyone can analyze this sector on.
And how are you placed in school education?
We have a group of preschools and K-12 schools. We have 225 preschools across the country, and we have 75 10+2 schools, upcoming 10+2 schools from Kashmir to Chennai to Guwahati to Udaipur, spread across the country, from main metro cities to the smallest of towns as well.
You talk about preschools. There is a phenomena that in past couple of years, the demand for preschools have shooted up like anything, and even these schools, these bigger brands are not able to cope up with that. You have n number of seats in a particular school for the pre-nursery, and you have n to the power 6 number of people who want to be a part of that, and still people are not getting fair bit of chances. Somebody who wants to get his child into a particular brand, it's very difficult for him or her. So what are the basic requirement with which they and the responsibility on the shoulders of the owners of the institutes?
See, normally in an efficient market, the demand and supply should match. Okay, there's a more demand, supply should increase. That's what market forces determine, right? If somebody is willing to pay an amount, there should be people who are willing to pay. The problem of this demand-supply mismatch is because school is based on land, which is not available. So if in a particular area there are only 4 school sites, I can't open 5 more. It's a demand for more. The second problem is that everybody wants to get into the same school. Now, there are top 10 rankings, and which school do you want to go to? Everyone will name the schools in those top 10 schools. How are those top 10 schools able to get, is it possible for them to cater to so many, the whole city? No, it's not possible. So the problem lies that everybody wants to get into those little schools, and there are other schools as well which nobody wants to consider. Because yes, the quality may be better, or maybe just a perception, maybe just a brand. You don't know. That is for the parents to analyze and to evaluate themselves. So what should have ideally been the case would be, and why is this scenario only in Delhi? Why not in other cities? You don't hear this in other cities. Because in other cities, I can buy a piece of green land, agricultural land, and convert it into a school land purpose and set up a school, which is not permitted in Delhi.
Right.
So now the population of Delhi is growing up. The government is not allocating school sites for new schools. I cannot buy green land and convert it into a school. So the demand-supply mismatch is going to happen, and people are aspirational. Today we can afford everything. I can afford the fee, so why shouldn't my son go to the number 1 school in the city? And the other problem is that when the government does decide to allocate land for schools, it is not based on merit. Whoever can afford, whoever's in the front of the queue, whoever can do the highest bid will get the school. So even if the government was tomorrow to allot 50 more schools, if they are not the ones that are in demand, then again the same situation is still there.
Right.
So there are many causes of why this is happening. It's on the basis of parents who are willing to send the children 2.5 hour drive in the morning and 1.5 hours back,
right,
for that brand, it elevates their own status in the community. Whether or not if you ask them what do you think is good about that school, they may not have an answer to that. What do they know is, oh, that's in demand, that's a number 1 in the rankings, I want to send my child. So parents are at fault, the government is at fault. Private school players who are not giving quality, that why should a parent have to send a child to right across the city? Why can't you give quality, the same quality?
What do you think about the scope of virtual education in this scenario?
See, technology has an important role to play in education, and it should be used as a supplementary aid in achieving things which the real world cannot. For example, if I have to teach my students about volcano. I cannot take them to a volcano. The next thing is that to show them a video of a volcano, making it interactive. Another role of technology would be to facilitate quality where good quality teachers are not available. So lectures can be beamed in. So technology will have a supplementary role. It can never replace a good teacher. It can replace an average teacher, and which it should. Of course, if the teacher is not present in the classroom, they're not teaching at all, then technology should come in and replace that person perhaps. But for a good teacher, it will just be an aid. So although we talk about technology as the next big thing in education, I think innovation in curriculum, better teaching techniques, teacher training, those will have bigger impact on our children's lives with technology as an enabler, as a tool. It's not the, I have seen schools which are focused only on technology, with their hoardings will say, we have Google Apps in our school. The main focus of the hoarding was, we have Google Apps. What does that have to do with the rest of the schooling? There's a school which will say, we have a Microsoft tablet in our Surface in our school. Some people take technology to another level altogether, and parents are actually not wanting technology in schools now, because the children are actually exposed to so much technology, iPads, iPhones in their houses. Some parents saying, okay, go take it easy with the technology as well. So a sensible school already knows where the role of technology is. It is wonderful. There are innovations going on. I come to this summit every year as a speaker, and I see wonderful things, and I see, wow, ab ye bhi ho gaya hai, this is the new innovation. So it's good. This is where innovation is happening, and because of technology, anybody who comes up with some innovation can immediately replicate it, scale it up to a pan-India level, which is not possible with traditional methods. If I build a new building blocks, which are physical blocks, how do I take it? Their cost of marketing is so high, my margins are at the end of the day very small. Technology allows scalable business models. It allows for it enables innovation. So it has a place, but it should be where its role is, not the be all of.
How was your overall WES experience so far?
It's always good. I mean, you guys do a fantastic job, and to bringing so many stakeholders together at one platform. I think the exhibitors are also really benefiting from this. We are getting exposed to newest of things. And when I come here, I always pick up 2 or 3 new products or companies every year and say, okay, let's have them in our schools. So, and of course, networking with the industry, with everyone, it's good to meet old friends and catch up with who's done what. And fortunately, unlike the rest of the economy, education is here to stay. It's growing. There's a need. Parents are willing to pay. People are investing in this. There's a lot happening. It's a very positive mood as an industry, as opposed to the rest of the economy where everyone's so depressed. No one's talking about anything. So it's good to come back and get that energy, and then go back and work with that rejuvenated energy.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you for having me.